Most people treat faith like a safety net. But what happens if that net breaks? If it only works when life goes your way, according to plan, then that's not really faith. It's not even a foundation. It's more of a fantasy. I have several tattoos, and two of them are sourced in what is traditionally known as Stoic philosophy. I'm also Christian. I completely understand that the two aren't always exactly aligned, and that's not my concern. I like to dabble enough in other things to understand what's real and what's most practical to my life. And there's a lot of Catholics and Christians that have taken some of these phrases. The most noticeable two are my one on my arm that says Amor Fati. It does not say fatty, like some people have thought. In fact, very few people have actually known what this means. And then I have one on my thigh that can really only be seen when I'm running, and it says Memento Mori. Remember that you shall die. This one is very interesting because it actually comes from Nietzsche. I'm not fully endorsing Nietzsche. He has some interesting things to teach us for sure. But there is some points that I really love about it. To love one's fate, to love what has been in store for you. The reason is because life is full of so many beautiful things. The beautiful, the good, the fun, and then the hard, the terrible, and the outright suffering. Now, I'm not putting this on myself because I think suffering is a great thing. Nobody likes it. I know I've always hated going through it. As I reflect on my own suffering, I see this and I don't think about the bad times and think fondly on them. It's more that I see who I am today and I'm really grateful for even those terrible days that one day became the thing that made me who I am today. I've lived through a lot of things that have been very hard, and I'm not really ashamed of them. Some of them aren't meant to be public, but in those things, I also recognize that I grew. I think this leads me to a big point of what I do in my coaching, in that Stoicism leads us to remember that we can let go of the things that aren't in our control. Doing that is going to bring you far more peace than trying to force everything to go the way you want it. And then on the faith side, we trust in divine providence, trusting that it all comes from God and He is the one who gives it to us freely. You see, a lot of us humans spend way too much time trying to control these things around us, and that's not how life works. We find a lot more peace that way. As I look at what we can do, we know that we can control our response. We can control how we live our virtue, our values. We cannot control the outcomes, and we cannot control others. You can try, but it never really works out. We have to respect other people's freedom. And sometimes that means it's the freedom to be dumb or make bad decisions. And the same goes for you. Some people will hear that and think that I'm saying that you just gotta go with the flow and surrender and not make anything happen. That's not what I'm saying at all. You see, our faith gives us a unique perspective on this. Surrender, in the traditional sense, means giving up. But that is not the way people of faith see it. We see surrender as the obedient action without demanding the outcome. And I'm not saying this is easy. I don't think anyone thinks this is easy because that's part of the trial of faith, to trust. In doing this, our action, the thing that comes from our free will, is the behavior of surrendering it without demanding the outcome. This is a really hard part as well because we often want to treat God like a genie, as if we pray and request and He just delivers. But that's not the way God works either. We have to trust that we are playing our role and doing our part here. And as we continue to surrender our will to His, which is a very hard thing, as we continue to try to surrender our will to His, the hope is that it makes us better people and better aligned with what He has for us because He only wills our good, even when it doesn't feel like it. Those mindsets lead us to ask some big questions in our internal life that have a big impact on our life. When bad things are happening or things that are out of our control happen, we often ask, why me? Why did I deserve this? I know so many times my pride has made me want to feel as if it's a personal attack. Sometimes it is, most of the time it's not. The better question is not why me, but rather, who am I becoming through this? It's not an easy shift, but when we stop making it about ourselves as if this life is all about us, but rather taking it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to transform it into something that helps you grow. You see, Amor Fati, in the Christian sense, is not worshiping fate as its own God. It's rather trusting that no matter what happens, God has not abandoned you, and He can provide for you, including the strength you need to get through it. Sometimes the harder one to understand is Memento Mori, because a lot of people quickly ask, well, isn't that a little morbid to think so much about your fate, especially if it's permanently tattooed on your body? Yeah, it's pretty serious, I guess. But the point is that it reminds us of what is actually happening in our lives, that every day that passes is a day closer to the end for each of us. Death is not intended to be a dark thing. It's actually very clarifying. If you knew you were going to die this next week, what would you stop doing? Who would you stop pretending to be? Who would you forgive? It's important to ask these things because we have to identify what are the things that are stopping us from growing and becoming the person we're supposed to be. I think that it puts petty fear in its place. It stops being this thing that might happen or could happen. Rather, we accept the fact that it is going to happen. We just don't know the day. I've been to funerals of many people who are older, and I've also been to several funerals of people who were much younger than me. We really never know, and there's freedom in that. So there's a few main questions I want you to ask yourself with this framework in mind. Question 1, what is in my control? And try not to focus on anything outside of that, because this is where your power lies. 2, what virtue is being demanded of me? Don't worry about other people and the virtue that they should be practicing or living. What virtue in you is the one that needs to come out, the one you need to practice in this moment? 3, what outcome do you need to surrender? I get that this is a really hard one because it requires that we let go of this thing that we've been holding on to, trying to make happen so hard. In our personal lives, sometimes it's incredibly hard because we feel that if we don't get the outcome we believe we deserve or that we want, that it means something about who we are. That's not necessarily the case. You get to decide a lot of that. But if there is something out of your control, you can try your best, do your best, offer your best, and then let it go. And finally, what is the next faithful action you can take? Really, we can only tackle life one step at a time. Every time I'm coaching clients who want to accomplish these huge things, they want to jump right to the end. Well, really, this climb of a mountain, of trying to get to this summit that you believe you want to get to, is going to require a lot of little steps, taking one day at a time, one step at a time. So the question here is, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you're struggling or something's happening, what is the next faithful action you can do today? And not, I don't want you to keep praying about it, to keep thinking about it, or keep wondering. Make a decision and take action. If we look at practical ways to apply Stoicism to Christianity, I think there is a lot of ways. It's not perfect, that's for sure. They're contradictory in a few ways. My main point is that Stoic faith doesn't mean you don't feel anything. The philosophy of Stoicism also is not about not feeling anything the way lowercase s Stoic is often depicted today. Its main focus is releasing the control and the power of those emotions on what you do. This is very clearly aligned with Christianity. It means that we don't allow our emotions to be our gods, to be the thing that rules our life. This includes prayer, family life, your work, your friends, your hobbies, every single aspect of your life. It's okay to struggle. Grief, pain, sadness, frustration, they're all part of the human experience. The thing is, you can still stand, to be firm, to be the man that you were created to be a man of faith, someone who stands firm, even when things feel like they're falling apart, and as if faith should have saved you from even getting in this part. We understand that God is still here, you are still capable, you are strong. We're not aiming for a perfect life. We'll have that in heaven. What we want is to form our soul to be the best man we can be. My name is Chris Almanza, career and purpose coach and speaker. I wish you blessings and success.